Hello, everyone, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where tonight the North Quincy Red Raiders will play host to the Tigers of Oliver Ames High School in MIAA football action. My name is Jonathan Caleri, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of QA TV Sports. As I mentioned, North Quincy will be hosting Oliver Ames here tonight at the stadium, and this is the consolation round of the MIA. The playoffs are underway, and unfortunately, North Quincy and Oliver Ames did not make the playoffs, so they're meeting up in the non-playoff games here at the stadium. The captains are getting ready to come out onto the field. Number 13, Andrew Gott. Number 50, Jackson Zhao. And number 54, Mike Levine. And the game captain for North Quincy, number 17, Josh Jackson. We'll go down onto the field now for the coin toss with the captains from OA and North Quincy.
Number me? No, me. That's you.
No, he's Nate. I'm Max.
Yeah, all right. And you're Nate. All right, nice. Captains, introduce yourselves to each other, please.
Number 44, Nathan Cabral. Number 53.
All right, captains. Mr. Ruka and I will be handling everything in the middle. We got an official chain crew and official crew up here. There's no 4-minute warning because that clock's official. But if it breaks down, we'll have it on the field. As captains, first and most important, you set the example on this field by the way you play, by the way you treat each other. So good sportsmanship, all right, good, hard, clean football. If there's a penalty, I'm going to be asking for one of you to step up. If they're not on the field, I need one of you captains to step up. Also, players, the only positive comments between players is what I want to hear. If there's any negative trash talk, I want you guys to shut it up, and you're the only ones that I hear on the field. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's a tails and a heads, regular $50. All right. You're going to call it in the air because you're the visitors. If I drop it, we'll do it again.
Tails.
Tails he calls. It's tails. You agree? Okay. You want the coin toss? You want the ball? Okay. Which goal are you going to defend? You're going to put your backs that way for the crowd. You want to kick this way? All right. Put your backs over that side. White's option. They like to receive. The Raiders are going to defend the clock and kick this way. Shake hands, guys. Let's have a good claim.
All right, so as you heard there, OA won the toss and elected to take the ball to begin the opening drive. So Oliver Ames will be receiving the ball and defending the north end zone. North Quincy will be kicking away and defending the south end zone. I'm being joined up here in the box by Jim Timmons. And Jim, as I mentioned, North Quincy unfortunately wasn't able to get into the playoffs this year, but looking to improve on this season with hopefully a victory over Oliver Ames here tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to be a little short-handed tonight. Down along the sidelines, you see number 11, Liam Hines, who's been a real key to the success of the team this season. He's going to be out for the game with an ankle injury. We'll talk about that and other issues in a moment, but first the national anthem.
All right, nice job by the combined Quincy North Quincy Marching Band out here on the field today for our national anthem. And real quick, before we get into the injury report, we'll do a quick weather report. And it's a beautiful night for football here at Veterans. 47 degrees, clear skies, and a 4-mile-per-hour wind. Could have gusts up to about 8 miles per hour as well here at the stadium. This is the second game of a doubleheader here at the stadium tonight. The first game, Quincy and Braintree played, and there were gusts of about 20 miles per hour when that game started. So wind should not be a factor to begin here tonight. Jim, you mentioned Liam Himes is going to be out tonight with an ankle. And some other injuries for North Quincy as well, so they might be a little short-handed here tonight.
Yeah, it's that time of year where the injury accumulation starts to affect your lineup, and that's what's happened for North. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt. I think the weather could be a little bit of a factor as well. This is one of the first colder evenings that the boys have played, under these conditions. The wind has died down a bit, but the night's going to cool off very quickly, John, as we've got an 8 o'clock start here. And folks who are watching this may recall the Friday of the prior week, which is today, was just a windy, gusty day all day, and the winds have progressively died off a bit. So as John said, the wind probably won't be a factor today, but we'll see how the temperature and the late start impacts the players.
Thomas Murray kicks it away for North Quincy, fielded by Oliver Ames at their own 13-yard line, and big space down to left sideline, and nice return there by Oliver Ames. And going up the field is number 25 for OA. That's Colin Williamson.
Yeah, Williamson, a sophomore, showing some real flash there. He just cut it out to the right side. He found a little lane, and terrific opening kickoff return for Oliver Ames. They're going to start at their 44 with great field position. And the first thing we notice is their offensive line comes out, John, is the size of some of these guys. They have some awfully big kids on that line, led by number 72, Jackson Keller, a senior.
All right, first play is a handoff over to the right side for Oliver Ames, and getting the carry is Nathan Cabral. And Cabral's going to get up to midfield, and they'll mark him right at midfield at the 50.
Yeah, and sure enough, where do they go? But they run behind number 72. Oliver Ames running right-handed, and why wouldn't they? Number 72 is 6'5", 245. He's a senior. He's anchoring. There you see him right there as the huddle breaks. Next to him, the right guard, number 57, Max Anderson, another senior, 6'2", 210. So that's the bulk just on the right side of the line.
All right, send a man in motion, and it's a handoff to number 25. That's Williamson. Ball comes loose, and North Quincy thinks they have it. We'll see what the result on the field is.
Boy, that'd be a terrific turn of events if North Quincy's got a turnover here. They're still on piling. The North kids seem pretty confident, and yes, there's the official signal. So a fumble recovery for the Red Raiders. Absolutely terrific, giving away a lot of bulk there, and you see number 17 for North Quincy returning the ball to the official, Josh Jackson, with the recovery, John.
So a great job there by North Quincy to force the turnover. Williamson was right at the first down marker when the ball came loose, and as you said, Jackson looks like he was able to come up with it and get the turnover. So North Quincy on the second play of the game force a turnover, and they have a 1st and 10 from their own 46 with 11:02 left to go here in the first quarter.
So terrific turn of events. I was worried about a grinding ground game, and what better way to reverse that but an early turnover.
And flags fly as there's movement on both sides of the line, and we'll see if North moves.
We have dead ball.
And it's going to be against Oliver Ames.
Encroachment against the Tigers.
So North is going to take over, and before their first snap, they're going to be on the Oliver Ames side of the field here. Not what the Oliver Ames folks were looking to start the game with here. When they took the ball, won the toss, and took the ball, you could tell they had confidence in their offense. So this is a nice turn of events for the Red Raiders.
All right. Number 10, Cooper Hansen is the quarterback for the Red Raiders, and the first play he hands it off, and Tyler Lee is going to get hit and stopped immediately in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 3 back to the North Quincy 48.
Loss of 2.
Yeah, Hanson only a sophomore. We've been impressed by him early on. He throws a nice ball. He's worked well with some of the wideouts. One of his favorite guys, Liam Hines, as we said, on the sidelines here. So other guys are going to have to set up, and they have a little, you see a bunch package up at the top of your screen. Trip receivers to the right.
All right, Hanson looking to pass, and it's going to be to Lee in the flat. He crossed the 50, and we'll get back to the original line of scrimmage to the OA 49.
Well, nicely designed play. What North Quincy tried to do was use that 3 receiver set to clear the right side out a little bit, and then Tyler Lee just rolled out of the backfield into that empty flat. This is not a good sign. Big number 54 for the Red Raiders, Mike Levine, coming very slowly off the field. He's got some sort of leg issue that they're looking at now, and that is not a good thing if Mike Levine is gimpy tonight.
3rd and 5 now for the Raiders. Hanson in the shotgun, and he's going to pump fakes, rolling, looking downfield, and it is complete. Wow, nice catch downfield by North Quincy. Colm Geary with a great catch at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that was terrific. Both athletes, the quarterback and the receiver, did a terrific job there. Quarterback rolling to his offside, threw across his body, and Colm Geary went right up after the ball. That's 2 sophomores, John, for the Red Raiders. Really coming through big on that play. So Norris at the 27 here of Oliver Ames. Got a nice little drive going to start this game.
Lee again on the pitch to the right side, and he's going to get hit immediately in the backfield. Coming up for Oliver Ames to make the initial play it was number 42, and unfortunately we don't have a 42 on our roster, but he came up to make the initial hit, and they're going to say a gain of 1 for Lee.
Yeah, thus far, Lee's been a little slow getting to the holes, John. He's not running what they call north-south. I think the North Quincy line's doing a pretty good job of getting off the ball. They're creating some openings, but Lee's running laterally, and Oliver Ames has been able to close down the openings. Let's see if they don't make a correction in that and see if Lee can't take better advantage.
Lee again on the carry onto the left side. He might get up to the 25-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball. Max Anderson coming in for OA on the tackle.
Yeah, perhaps that's why Lee is not running north-south. He did there. He absolutely did there, right into a wall of white shirts. So, Tyler, I take back what I was saying earlier, but on a couple of earlier plays where he's been looking to see blocks set up, it's been a little slow, and he's starting to get into the rhythm. That time he hit a hole that wasn't there. It became a wall very quickly. So we're looking at a 3rd down here, John. 3rd and 9 for the Red Raiders.
Hanson rolling, and he's going to get sacked, and he gets popped pretty big there. Coming up to make the sack, or the big hit, was Max Anderson, again, number 57 for Oliver Ames. Hanson was wrapped up, and then Anderson finished him off, and it goes all the way back to the 30. Yeah,
Anderson's a senior, so that's a mature athlete. And you see Cooper Hanson coming out, and he's feeling he's still trying to shake off the cobwebs from that hit. But Anderson, 6'2", 210, real solid, especially for a high school football player. Plus, he's a senior. So he just laid Cooper Hanson out, and Red Raiders are going to go for it on 4th down. We're clearly in 4-down territory here.
4th and 13 now for North Quincy.
Yeah,
and it's going to go back another 5 yards. It looks like North Quincy jumped, but we're going to see if it was on Oliver Ames. There was motion on both sides.
Yeah, they're bringing in the side judge just to see who moved first. And Oliver Ames, lineman.
We have dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Yeah, the side judge saw the right defensive end jump first and encroach. And technically, when that happens, the lineman can react to protect the quarterback, and that's essentially what the call was there. So a break for North Quincy, John. So they're looking at a 4th down and 8 now. They're just inside the 25. Early little breaks going North Quincy's way thus far. Let's see if they can't capitalize.
Three receivers to the left of Hanson. He's looking to his left, comes back over to the middle, and is incomplete. Was looking for Colm Gary, but he was a little too high on the pass, and it goes incomplete, and OA is able to hold.
Yeah, Hanson missed high because he had a little bit of a problem stepping into that one as the pocket collapsed around him.
At their own 25-yard line.
Red Raider defense coming back out on the field, and let's see what happens as far as their ability to keep Oliver Ames here in check. Oliver Ames starting back at their own 25, so nice little field position switch here, John. You recall they started their first drive outside their 40. So they've got them locked back. Let's see if they can't keep them back here. Nice
Handoff
job.
to the right side. And nice job by North Quincy. Looks like it's going to be no gain for OA on that carry. Trying to see the number. And we'll see if we can get the number here on the replay. Looks like it was number 44 again, Nathan Cabral. And we'll get the... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, quick replay here, and you can see North Quincy doing a nice job of gang tackling. Number 4, Raymond Chow in there. I believe that was, yeah, it was number 4, Chow. So
a couple other players on North Quincy defense side of the field that won't be seen tonight. They're out with injury. Matt Craig and Shane O'Connell, two key players for this team, especially Craig, one of the linebackers who comes in and makes a lot of plays for North Quincy, out with an injury. So we'll see how that affects the North Quincy defense. Colin Williamson on the carry for OA, and they're going to say a gain of 2 up to the 27.
yeah, Craig is part of this super sophomore class here at North Quincy. North's got a lot of sophomores and juniors, John, who are really talented athletes. And it's a shame to see them, because of their age and the nature of this sport, you know, they're out dinged up, out injured, and the loss of Craig's a big one for the Red Raiders.
Play action fake, quarterback looking downfield towards right side, and it is incomplete. Great job there by North Quincy. And let's see, it was number...
It's Brendan
That was
Hines.
Brendan Hines.
Yeah.
Came out to make the play.
Absolutely perfect coverage by Hines. He converged just as the ball converged on the receiver, just as the ball got there, broke up the play. Terrific job by Hines, stepping up in the absence of his brother. So the punt unit is out for Oliver Ames. A little confusion on the part of the Red Raiders here. Going back for North Quincy, Malik Francis, another sophomore. He's going to set up at about the Red Raider 40. Oliver Ames is going to have the wind at their back for this punt, and he gets away a nice one, not too high.
Francis is going to field it at his own 40-yard line, and he'll get hit and brought down at midfield, so a 10-yard return for Francis.
Very solid return. Good job by the Red Raiders. They're going to have great field position again. So early on, if you watch this replay, actually, watch Francis here. He takes it at the 40. Now watch this. Great acceleration right up the middle. Ducks his head, and he picks up a solid 10 yards. A great return. Red Raiders, good field position starting at the 50-yard line.
Hanson will start in the shotgun for the Raiders. Three receivers to his right. He looks over to his right and is incomplete. Looked like it might have been a push from behind, but it is incomplete.
For number 9, Brendan Hines.
The pass was intended for Brendan Hines, but he could not bring it down. So they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Oliver Ames going with 3 down linemen, John. They're bringing their linebackers up tight when they expect to run. They've done a nice job so far of handling the run. North Quincy going to the pass because of this set.
Thomas Murray on the handoff. He was in motion and got the ball, and he's going to gain of maybe 1 on the play. We'll see where they spot him down, and yes, he'll be up to the 49, so just a gain of 1.
Yeah, North offensively has been trying to take advantage of the fact that Oliver Ames has their linebackers up tight. They're trying to get the ball outside behind the linebackers, and thus far they've had a bit of success, but they need one here. It's 3rd and 9, just on the Oliver Ames side of the 50.
Hansen gets it, being pressured, and he avoids the sack. Nice job by Hansen. He gets it away, and it is complete. Nice catch there by Tyler Lee. Gets all the way up to the 30-yard line, brought down at the 26. Wow, what a play. Cooper Hansen spins out of harm's way somehow, and then throws up a Hail Mary to get there. Wow.
Oh, if we have this replay, folks, you've got to watch this play. Because we see what Hansen did, and he doesn't see that white shirt at all, and then suddenly ducks away. Terrific athleticism. Again, throwing across his body. Terrific job by Lee. He made what they call a hands catch of that ball. Got his hands down on it, and terrific job by the Red Raiders.
Lee over to the right side, and he'll get up to the 25 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Across the 25. Knocked out of bounds at the 24.
I give Lee a lot of credit there, John, on that play, that earlier play, because he caught the ball, and then we were talking about north-south running, and he just turned it right upfield and made a terrific gain. So good job by Tyler Lee. Great job by Cooper Hansen under intense pressure. And Red Raiders looking to make something happen here. They've got a 2nd and 8, but a little bit of mojo going here, John.
All right, Raiders come out in a wing formation, send a man in motion. That's Murray. And over to the left side goes Jackson, trying to get to the outside, and he's going to get brought down from behind and brought down out of bounds. And let's see, at the 20-yard line, it looks like.
Well, nice job by Jackson. He created a 5-yard gain out of what looked like was going to be nothing. Oh, we got a penalty here on the Red Raiders.
Holding against North Quincy.
It's a hold on North Quincy as Jackson was heading to the corner. A couple of the linemen trailing the action, and one of them grabbed a white shirt.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty to Peter, 28.
All right, so that goes back to the 35-yard line on the penalty.
We're going to have to repeat 2nd down, and this time it's going to be 2nd and a boatload. Red Raiders are looking at 2nd and 18 here from the 35-yard line. Tough penalty.
And off over to the left side. That's Thomas Murray on the carry, and he'll get a gain of maybe 1 up to the 34.
Now that time, the Oliver Ames defense did a terrific job of just stringing out that play. Murray was trying to turn it upfield, had nowhere to go, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 17 plus.
All right, so as you said, Jim, 3rd and long from the 34 for the Raiders. Hansen in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Quick pass, he gets tipped and it is intercepted by Oliver Ames. Went off the hands of Brendan Hines and is intercepted by Oliver Ames, and it'll be brought to the 30-yard line. Tough break there for North Quincy.
Yeah, that's one of those plays. It's tough. We've talked about this before. Athletes will understand this. Folks at home may not, particularly as I try to explain it. But that ball, when you're playing under the lights at night, it just explodes on you at the very end of the play there. The MBTA bus yard is in the south end zone. It's all pitch black. And the field, that ball came out of that blackness. The light in the field keeps the field bright. Let's talk about this play, and then I'll continue to muddle through my explanation. But
Cabral on the carry gets up to the 31.
the field is very well lit, as you can see on your screen there. There's no issues in that regard. But what happens is that football is coming at you, and while you may see it, the velocity is a factor that you can't gauge as well under artificial light. And you could just see at the end of that play, John, all of a sudden it exploded on Brendan Hines. He got his hands up there late, tipped the ball, tipped it in a terrible area where there were a bunch of white shirts, and it got picked off. So see if the defense can't continue. They've done a terrific job early on here, and there's another great tackle.
Number 44,
Number
that's
13,
Cabral,
Andrew
carry
Gott
down.
on the tackle as he was able to bring down Nathan Cabral. And as you said, great job there by Gott.
Yeah, giving away a lot of size here, the Red Raiders are, but
Bring up 3rd and 2 for the Tigers.
they're playing very determined. They're making their plays here, and very impressive what we see so far. One thing we're seeing a lot of tonight that we almost never saw for most of the season is big number 54, Mike Levine, cycling in and out. He's definitely nursing a leg injury here and coming off the field fairly frequently for him.
All right, handoff goes to number 25, Colin Williamson. That's going to be the last play of the first quarter. And Williamson will pick up the first down for Oliver Ames. He gets up to the 40-yard line. And again, that will be the last play of the quarter.
Well, interestingly,
Now
John,
we bring the first quarter to an end. We have no score.
the game started at the 40-yard line for Oliver Ames. They had nice field position after an initial kick return, and we'll start the second quarter essentially in the same spot, just heading in a different direction, the 40-yard line. So good stuff by the Red Raiders in a first quarter that was fast-moving, and they did a nice job of reversing the field position here, and they're going to be forced to do so again in the second quarter, John.
We're being joined now in the booth by Councilor Large Noel DeBona, a big football fan here in the city of Quincy. Noel, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing in the doubleheader?
It has certainly been an interesting night here. Again, as you said, this is the second game of the doubleheader. It was a great game at the first game. Quincy lost by a point to Braintree, 15-14, and it's been a good game so far here tonight. What have your thoughts been on the season for both schools?
Well, you know, tonight North Quincy's got some injuries. I see Liam Hines is down and Craig, one of the linebackers. You obviously want to get ready for obviously the North Quincy Thanksgiving Day game, and you want to get healthy. So tonight they've moved some guys around. You have Josh Jackson and Tyler Lee moving over to the running back position from wide receiver, and defensively North's been playing pretty good so far. Oliver Ames, they had a fumble recovery earlier, and they have just had this interception. So they pretty much, there's a couple of miscues on both teams, but North is playing defensively very strong. That Andrew Gott over there on the defensive side, made him a captain a few weeks ago, has really come up and made some good plays.
Noel, when you were a player at Quincy High School and you were getting down towards the end of the season, was it tough to focus on those last few games, knowing North was right around the corner?
Well, it depends on your season. Like if you, in this one, you're in the non-playoff bracket, so you're probably thinking about, okay, I got to get healthy for Thanksgiving. That's probably the biggest thing, especially if you're a senior, and it's probably going to be your last game that you ever put on the pads. You want to play that last game. So some of the underclassmen, you might want to get out there, but they have the move. North doesn't have a big squad, so they need to get healthy for Thanksgiving, obviously, and you still want to win these games. So depends on your season. We had some pretty good teams when I was playing back then, and I wanted to play every game. So I wouldn't say too much about an injury report and try to get out there and see what I can do.
All right, that last play by Cabral for OA, he ran over to the right sideline, but a flag was thrown, and I believe this is going to be a holding penalty against Oliver Ames. We'll see what the call is. Still trying to figure out where.
Holding, 10-yard penalty from the spot. We'll replay second down.
All right, so it is a holding penalty against Oliver Ames, so I'll push it back.
There was a lot of different protocols back when I was playing with the Brian Craigs and the Danny Gil Martins and stuff. If you have a concussion situation, you got to step out nowadays. Back then, you didn't have those protocols in place, so you'd play a little bit, hurt a little bit sometimes. There's difference between hurt and injured. So I'd always want to be out there, John.
Whether you had a bell rung or not, right? You wanted to be out there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's about safety, obviously. And the concussions are out there, and you got to go through the proper protocols.
All right, so it pushes the ball back to the 30-yard line for Oliver Ames. And long pass down the right sideline here, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Adam Can down the right sideline, but again, it falls incomplete around the 40-yard line.
Real quick about Oliver Ames, Ed DeWitt is the head coach over there. He was with North Quincy for a little while. He's a Quincy player. He's in the Hall of Fame. Good offensive lineman, defensive lineman. he's over there at the Oliver Ames. He went over to Canton for a little while. Was assistant coaching. So, you got a former alumni on the other side of the field that's coached over at North when Mark Nutley was here. He coached a little bit of Quincy, I believe, and then he was a player there. So, a little shout out to other side of this field.
Yeah, this is Ed DeWitt's first year as a head coach at Oliver Ames. As you said, a Quincy native is Ed DeWitt. Cabral on the carry to the right side. He gets away from one tackle, spins off another, but the third and fourth will finally bring him down. And it's going to be a loss of 1, maybe 2 in the play. They're going to mark him at the 28 for a loss of 2.
Just real quick about some of the other teams out there right now. Hingham's doing very good. They're 6-1, and Mark Nutley is the head coach over there with the assistant coaches of Billy Reardon and Bob Noble, former Quincy coaches. So you got a staff over there right now. They're doing really good this season. Around the area.
Actually, just earlier today, for Braintree High School, defensive coordinator is John Green, teacher at Quincy High School and longtime coach at Quincy High as well. This is his first year over at Braintree High.
It's good to see these coaches at different places in general. I know that Jack Raymer, when he left Quincy High, he went over to Zvarian for a while. Ken McPhee went over to Weymouth High School for a little while as assistant coaches. You have kind of a shelf life as being a head coach, and sometimes you get through your 10 years, 15 years, and then you want to move on to an assistant and kind of let all the duties go to that head coach. So these guys can't get it out of them. It's in their blood. They want to coach. So I talked to Bob Noble recently. He went back to Hingham from Marshfield. He's moved around a little bit, but these are great programs, and you see a lot of them around the area. The Reginini is over at Archbishop Williams. You got a Brillo over at BC High. So and John DeGiacomo, Mr. DeGiacomo over at Silver Lake. So you got people coming out of this Quincy area, becoming coaches and stuff. It's good.
Well, it's really good to see all those different players and coaches and people from Quincy, as you said, going around the whole state here on the Eastern Seaboard, and good to see them there. And Noel, we want to thank you for coming in for a short
You're
time
welcome.
here. And,
I appreciate it. It's nice and
for,
warm in here.
it's a lot different than any of the old press booths. We can certainly say that.
It was really cold back then, but I wish North the best, and obviously for the rest of the season. And I think Ryan Craig and that coaching staff is doing a fantastic job with the kids and motivating them, and then bringing the pride back for the entire city. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this second half here, and the kids just get through one play at a time, one game at a time, and I'll see you guys, and I'll be periodically coming back up here.
All right, sounds good, Noel. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming
guys.
in and taking a moment to chat with us here.
It's nice to see you, Noel. Good job. Yeah, Noel's very familiar with football in Quincy, as you can tell, due to his involvement with the youth program, and knows a lot of the coaches. Rather see some of them stay in Quincy than leave, but we're fortunate to have such a talent pool as far as coaching goes.
All right, that was a nice punt there by Oliver Ames, went all the way down to North Quincy 26. And on the first play from scrimmage for North, that's going to be a handoff over to the right side. Tyler Lee gets up to the 30, make it the 31.
Ball we spotted exactly on the 30. That's a pickup of 4 yards.
I'll tell you, North has done an excellent job of hanging in here. Early on, I was concerned just looking at some of the preliminary signs about the size of Oliver Ames here. And this North defense has been very fierce. You've got to see if the offense, notwithstanding some of their losses, can't get something going here.
Hanson has nothing downfield. He's going to keep it himself, and he gets hit out of bounds. And North Quincy players coming right to his aid. And now it's been shoving and pushing down the sideline here.
Yeah, well, this is just completely wrong here. That's really, really disgraceful, the lack of discipline by the North kids. The hit out of bounds, understood, but they can't do what they just did. They just had a 15-yard penalty coming their way, and now North's going to get hit with one, or at least an offsetting thing. There's just absolutely no excuse for what just went on the North sideline, and that should not have happened.
Ball would be placed at the 34-yard line.
That was quite a hit, though, and late, out of bounds by the Oliver Ames player. I don't know what these officials are going to do. This is intriguing.
All right, looks like it's going to be. So there's going to be no penalty on anyone.
Well, I feel a little differently than I on this, and hopefully they're right. Hopefully what happens is they play on, and that's just a heated moment that passes.
All right, so it's a 3-yard gain there. So it brings up now 3rd and 3. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Was trying to hit Jamal Maximilian, but they cannot connect.
Yeah, Hansen has a little bit of a problem with missing people high. He throws a great football. He's only a sophomore, really talented. He sees the field really, really well. He's got to learn to step into the ball a little bit and follow through. That's why he's missing high. It's his follow through and stepping in. A little bit of hesitation, but you'd expect that in a young athlete. But boy, has he got a lot of upside here. And you saw the right guy. He delivered and just missed the connection. So North stalls out. They survived that little conflagration on the sideline there. Dave McCarthy, our city council, would call it an imbroglio. And they survived that. No penalty call. And let's hope the defense now can deliver a couple of those hits. But inside the white lines here.
Declan Gary kicked it away for North Quincy, and it's going to go all the way down to the Oliver Ames 35-yard line. Should be 34-yard line where they mark it.
Yeah, Gary's been a pretty consistent kicker for the Red Raiders, so good job. Ball's just inside the 35. I'm hoping that what went on tonight is something that can get cleaned up for North Quincy, because, you know, these veteran officials let that one go, but a play like that or a situation like that on Thanksgiving could really cost the Red Raiders. So hopefully everyone's going to learn from that incident tonight and move forward. Let's hope the defense steps up here against Oliver Ames, John.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and handoff goes to Cabral. He somehow gets through 3 or 4 Red Raiders and is finally brought down by Malik Francis at the 42-yard line, make it the 43.
Yeah, Nathan Cabral, a senior, is a scary athlete. You know, one of the issues here now for North Quincy, there's a little under 8 minutes to go, and you're worried about the fatigue factor and about players starting to break down a little. And a guy like Cabral with some of these linemen in front of him, you know, he's one explosion away from really causing some damage. So let's see how long the Red Raiders can hang in there defensively.
All right, again, he sneaks through 3 or 4 defenders, found a seam, gets across the 45 up to the 46, and he'll move the chains. 1st down.
I would be surprised if we don't start to see a little more of this. Oliver Ames trying to establish some control at the line of scrimmage and trying to grind out a possession here for a score. The North defense has been terrific in this first half, John, and they're really being tested here on this drive.
Cabral very patient too, Jim. He's waiting and waiting for that hole to form, and then he goes right through it. All right, quarterback Jake Perrone is in trouble, and he is going to go out of bounds. Excuse me, throws it and is incomplete. Was looking for Cabral.
Yeah, he hit Cabral 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that was terrific pressure by the North Quincy defense. So the young men in red continue to step up here. Chasing Oliver Ames quarterback all the way to the opposite sideline from this left hash mark and forcing that errant pass. Going to be 2nd and 10.
Perrone, a senior for Oliver Ames. And he goes under center. 2nd and 10 for OA. 6:59 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Cabral again on the carry over to the right side. Crosses midfield, still on his feet. Falls forward up to the 44-yard line. Right at the 1st down marker. And actually, they're going to say he was down at the 45.
Now, I'll tell you what, Brendan Hines got up there into the hole. Try to make a tackle, and he's been shaking his right arm ever since. He get in there trying to make an arm tackle, and almost got his arm torn off. So this is a big 3rd down play, John. It's on the 45-yard line. May not be 4 down territory. If Red Raiders can come up with a stop, it'd be huge
3rd and 1, Cabral picks up the first down and more across the 40-yard line, still on his feet, had a nice juke move to the right, and finally gets brought down at the 35, maybe it is the 34.
Yeah, Brendan Hines out there. You see number 9 around the ball. They're running right at him and at that right side, running behind the two big guns we talked about early on for Oliver Ames. 72 Jackson Keller, I'll just remind you, 6'5", 245. That's the right tackle. That is a large guy. And next to him is the right guard at 6'2", 210, Max Anderson. They're both seniors, both mature bodies, and they're starting to lead the way here for another senior, Cabral.
Perone gives it, and actually, no, they're going to say I'm not sure if there's a timeout call before the play happened. No, it was going to be a false start call against Oliver Ames.
False start.
Yeah, they started the wing back early, and
5-yard penalty.
not quite sure what happened, but
Gonna place the ball, but
Red Raiders are going to be
Dead ball. False start on the offense.
very happy to accept that. So 5-yard penalty. It's going to be a 1st and 15 at the 39. I would say we're in 4-down territory here, John. So the Red Raider defense is really going to be stressed here during this series. Be nice to see them come up with a stop. Whoa.
Over to the right side.
Number 25, Colin Williamson.
And
on the
Colin
carry.
Williamson on the carry. He's going to get up to the
Lift up around the
33.
34-yard line.
Yeah, Williamson went airborne there on a nice
Gonna place the
tackle.
ball
Gain
at the
of 7.
32-yard line of North Quincy, and that'll bring up
Going to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
7 for the Tigers.
All right, so they mark him down at the 32, and as you said, 2nd and 8 now for the Tigers. Send a man in motion, but they give it to Williamson over to the left side. Cross the 30, gets brought down, but he falls forward up to about the 28-yard line.
Number 25, Colin Williamson on the carry.
Yeah, I
Cross
can
the
see
30.
some of the North kids just getting back to the line a little slower.
Ball be spotted at the 27-yard
Big number
line of
88,
North
Colm
Quincy. That'll
Geary.
bring up
Geary's
3rd and
lining up
3
directly
for the
opposite a guy who's 1.5 times the size of Geary and grinding him down, and Colm has not come off the field very much, so he's starting to show the fatigue factor.
Cabral with the carry over the right side. Fades one tackle in the backfield. Flag is thrown. This is going to be a hold, it looks like, on Oliver
For
Ames.
Cabral on the carry. Here is a penalty marker on the play.
Holding on the offense. Holding, 64,
Against
coach.
the Tigers,
From the
the spot foul.
So it's a hold against OA. We'll see where the flag was thrown. Looks like it's at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, we heard the official.
holding 10-yard penalty from the spot.
of the foul.
They
We'll
left-
replay 3rd down. Peter, we're inbounds.
They left the mic open.
That'll place the
And,
ball at the 43rd, 43rd yard line.
We heard it was number 64 for Oliver Ames. Now here's another guy, 6'2", 200 pounds, a senior. They're just a big senior-laden offensive line. And North Quincy hanging on for all it can here in this 2nd quarter.
It's 3rd and 19, and a timeout was called by
Timeout,
Oliver
Tigers.
Ames. So 3:48 left to go here in the first half, and we are scoreless at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, and I credit these guys right here you see in the screen, Sean, the North Quincy defense. Coaching staff's done a nice job of rotating players in and out, trying to keep people fresh, but a lot of the guys out there have been out there the entire game so far. They play both ways, and they're starting to get worn down. Number 9, Brendan Hines, we mentioned him. We mentioned 88, Colm Geary. You see over there on the far side, big number 77, Reen Bijot, who's been out there, or Bigo, I'm not sure, and I'm sorry about the mispronunciation, but he is a big guy, a lineman for North Quincy, 6'2", 260, and only a sophomore. but he's been out there all night as well. We've seen his number all over the field. So these are guys who are out there. They're 2 years younger than the guys they're lining up against. And that physical maturity factor is huge at that point in your development. So they're going up against older and bigger players for the most part, but holding their own. So big third down play for both teams here.
3rd and 19. Perone looking to pass downfield, has a man open, and it is incomplete. Goes off the hands of his intended receiver. Looks like it was Adam Can. And Can looked like he had it right in his hands, but just could not bring it in.
Well, Red Raiders caught a little bit of a break there. It looked like there may have been some confusion on the coverage.
Pass incomplete.
But
13, Adam Can.
in any event, Red Raiders end up surviving that one, and Oliver Ames is going to be punting the ball away, John. So that was a huge stop by North Quincy. There's 3:40 left in the second quarter, and a tired, very fatigued Red Raider defense has done it yet again. Absolutely terrific stuff.
High kick by number 13, Adam Can. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
20-yard line.
I'll tell you, at this point, John, if the Red Raider offense can just get that clock, you see 3:35 left in the half. If they can run that clock down, North Quincy will start with the ball in the second half. So it'd be terrific to get to the locker room, even up here, and make some of the corrections that I'm sure the coaching staff's going to review with the boys. And the offense it's had some success, but it's been fits and starts, and see if they can't stabilize them a little bit.
All right, so 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line for the Red Raiders.
They got a bunch set of receivers over on the left there.
A little confusion on the handoff, and Lee's able to get it and make something out of nothing. Nice job there by Tyler Lee, and he's going to get up to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Lee, only a junior. Another one of the guys from North Quincy who's going to be returning next year. Picked up 4 yards, and as you said, John, when you start a play by colliding with your quarterback in the backfield, but pick up 4, that's a success. So very well done. 4-yard gain on first down is a success in anyone's book, but after that little mishap, great job by the running back to make something out of nothing, as you said.
And Lee takes it again. Nice job there by Lee. He takes a nice spin move at the 27-yard line and is able to fall forward up to the 30 because of that, and it'll be enough for the first down.
Yeah, terrific acceleration into the hole that time for Lee. No hesitation. Watch this replay real quickly, and you're going to see Lee just go straight ahead beautifully. He just hits that hole. Nice little spin move to pick up another 2 yards. So 1st and 10, Red Raiders at the 30, clock running down. We're approaching 2 minutes.
Ball at the 30-yard line. Hansen drops the snap, and he's able to pick it back up, thankfully. And it looks like he's going to get a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, I mentioned the last time he was out in the field about how Cooper Hansen is very alert, sees the field well, always seems to find the right receiver. Well, there he reacted with great poise, and he did exactly what he should have on a fumbled snap. He carefully made sure that he recovered the ball. He didn't try to do too much, and did the safe thing. And as a result, the Red Raiders live to play another down here. 2nd and 11.
Hansen under center, looking to pass. Fires over to his right side, and it's complete to Maximilian. And he gets away from one tackle and takes a big pup at the 35-yard line.
Well, nice job by Jamal Maximilian. He did a terrific job, as you said. If you watch this replay, watch him evade the initial hit. He's going to make a nice reception. Nice job. And that's at the 31-yard line. And he's going to pick up another 5 yards there. Yards after contact. Very well done.
Under a minute to go now here in the second quarter. Hansen fires to his left, and it's complete at the 44-yard line. And try to see who he got it over there to. That's number 7, Malik Francis.
Result of that play is
Tell
the
you,
Red
he
Raider
stepped
first
into
down.
that beautifully and
They will
just
place
threw a
the ball
bullet, a
at the
perfect strike,
44
hit
yard
number
line of
7
North Quincy.
right on the 7 there. So nice job. Cooper Hansen settling down a little bit here and throwing the
Timeout
football the
called by
way he
North
can. That was a beautifully thrown ball, John. Just a strike to Malik Francis. So the Red Raider offense now providing a little bit of spark here as the half ends. We got 48 seconds left. So irrespective of what they do, John, this has been a terrific possession for North Quincy. We want to see them get into the locker room without any issues, and they're going to achieve that, it appears. And that in and of itself is a win. At the same time, the offense is settling down. You can see that. They've had 3 successive plays now for gains. So it looks like things are steadying a bit, and it'd be terrific if they come out of the locker room to start the second half with good feeling about what they achieved here in this first half.
1st and 10 from the 44, 48 seconds to go. Hansen again fires over to the right, and it's complete to number 81, Declan Gary, and he'll have another first down up to the OA 42.
Yeah, Oliver Ames going to have an adjustment to make because I'll tell you what, North Quincy coaching staff going to the air here with their quarterback Cooper Hansen, and he is just doing an absolutely terrific job of finding receivers and delivering strikes.
All right, North Quincy spikes the ball there with 28 seconds left. Real quick, we'll take a look at the last replay of the catch here by Gary.
Now watch this ball on the run, perfect strike. Look at that to Gary. So very well done. Declan trying to keep up with Colm. The North Quincy coaching staff is looking up to the scorer's booth here below us, or above us. I guess you don't get below us. That's all cement, right? And checking out the clock. There was a situation with the clock, and somehow we just went from 23.4 to 47 seconds. So I don't have any questions about that because the North squad is moving. So with they're on the 42 of Oliver Ames, and they've got 47 seconds left.
All right, so 2nd down and 10. Hansen over to the left side, complete to Colm Gary. He's trying to get out of bounds, and he does, and they're going to mark him out at the 38. And they're going to say, no, they're going to keep the clock running.
Taken out of bounds at the 30.
Tell you what, there's an athlete from Oliver Ames out there who I'm not sure what happened. I didn't see it, but he's definitely injured his left leg. Dante Cachavera, a junior, and he's really laboring. I'm not sure what's going on here. Now we've got the clock running. We've got all kinds of confusion here.
Well, it looked like Gary had gone out of bounds on that last play, but the official signaled to keep the clock running, and then the officials did signal down the field to have the clock run, and the North Quincy coaches were upset about that, saying he went out of bounds. But about 10 seconds went off the clock from that last play to where it is now, and so now the officials are going to put some time back on the clock again.
Tell you what, Coach DeWitt is probably wondering what type of home job he's getting here. Is that one of our guys out there with the? Okay. Where's he from?
This is a gentleman from the upstairs where they have the feed onto the main camera, or onto the big screen, I should say.
Oh, he's doing the big screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Saw our cameraman out on the field, and as folks have heard me say before, like, I just don't agree with coaches being out on the field talking to officials, but it's up to the officials to police that. And this officiating staff has been, they're either extremely experienced or they're at the other end of the spectrum, because they're letting various things go that one would not expect them to.
This was the same crew that did the first game, so they might be a little bit tired as well from doing the previous game, the Braintree-Quincy game.
Understood. Yeah, I got you. Well, in any event, when I saw the cameraman out there, I was going to maybe have a chat with him at halftime. But that's interesting.
All right, so there are 37 seconds left on the clock. It's been interesting to see how this clock has gone back and forth in the last minute or so here. And the coaches are over talking to Ed DeWitt, the OA head coach, because he's trying to figure out how the clock's gone down, gone up, gone down, gone up.
Well, the gentleman in the white hat right now is saying, Coach DeWitt, you're not in Quincy anymore. You're the Oliver Ames coach. So just take the hit, get to the sideline, and we'll shut the clock off when we care to. I don't know. I wonder if he ever experienced any of that when he was on the Quincy High staff. Such favorable timing results.
I'm sure down in Easton he gets his fair share of hometown cooking as well.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 3rd and 6 for North.
Yeah, we're back to football, John.
Hanson
Imagine
passes
that.
down the right sideline and is incomplete. North Quincy looking for a flag, and one does come out.
Wow. Coach DeWitt is going to be insane after this, because I wish we could get a replay on the flag coming out, because I saw the side judge going down there, and first he grabbed the flag and then he was holding on to it. I wasn't quite certain what he was going to do with the flag.
Against the Tigers.
I wasn't sure if he was going to sneeze, and then suddenly it all just fell to the field there, the yellow flag. And I think we should get one of our cameras down into the runway between the locker rooms here for halftime. I would love to hear what
Defensive
some of the
pass
coaches have to
interference.
say.
By Federation rule, it's a 15-yard penalty. The result of the penalty will be a first down, incomplete pass. The clock will start on the snap.
It's a 15-yard penalty.
And John, if you take a look, there's 31 seconds
the ball
left.
at the 23
You're telling me
yard
that
line,
last
ball
play
over.
only took 6 seconds
So that play
to
is
roll out the
down.
ball in the air that long?
All right, so the ball goes down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for North, and now we have another whistle.
I think it's an Oliver Ames timeout.
And
Yeah.
yes, it was
Yeah.
before the snap.
Yeah. I think what the coaches are doing now is they're trying to steady things a bit after all the confusion. Just get their boys a little calmed down, centered, and focused. And frankly, it's been intriguing. I wish I had started. Had I been aware of what was ahead, I would have checked my watch back when it said 43 seconds. Real time tonight, it's now 8:52. I think there were 43 seconds left at about 8:45 tonight.
I'd say
you know?
probably at the least.
Yeah. So we're having a somewhat ignominious end to what had otherwise been a good first half. Red Raiders, who definitely were giving away both size and experience in the trenches, have battled mightily. The defense in particular done a terrific job. The offense had some fits and starts, but on this final drive, which you may recall began just inside their 30, they have got down the field to the point now where they're knocking on the door. They're just outside the red zone.
All right, Hanson looking to pass over the right side into the corner and incomplete.
Oh.
He had number 81, Declan Gary, in the end zone, but a nice defense there by Oliver Ames to break it up.
Declan Gary.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. And if you watch the replay, what you're going to see is a quarterback waiting for his guy to get downfield. He does a little double clutch, and then he delivers a beautiful pass to Gary. And watch at the end here. Gary gets his hands on it, but then it's broken up beautifully by the Oliver Ames defensive back. So that's just two guys going at it. And the defense won in that particular possession.
All right, again, pass is incomplete. Looked like on that one, Hansen was just trying to throw it away and prevent the sack.
Yeah, Hansen had no idea about the white shirt thundering at him from the backside. That blind side on Hansen a couple of times tonight has almost doomed him, and he's got rid of the ball. Well, in one case, he evaded a tackle, if you recall, in the first quarter. That time he got rid of the ball just before he was about to get walloped. So, 21 seconds left. 3rd down and 10 here for the Red Raiders. I'd say they're in 4-down territory, John. I don't know that there's field goal range from here.
Hansen pass over the right side and incomplete. Was looking for Gary again.
Pass is incomplete.
And that's going to stop the clock with 17 seconds left to go and bring it by 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at a 4th down attempt here. 17.8 seconds. You know, it's no coincidence that it's this weekend that we set the clocks back, right? Is that this weekend?
We do, yep.
Yeah, well, if you came to this game tonight, folks, you wouldn't have to bother the way this. What have we got here? We got a timeout, Red Raiders.
Yes.
Timeout.
So the longest 43 seconds in sports continues to drag on as the Red Raiders call timeout and try to set up. What do you think with 17 seconds left tonight? You maybe have 5 or 6 plays left. Might be about right.
Well, I'm sure the clock's going to get reset to about 38 seconds anytime now.
That's right. We'll wait for the DeWitt reset.
This last 43 seconds is like an NBA game with all the timeouts and stoppage and you name it.
Yeah, we have daylight savings time, we have Central Standard Time, and we have DeWitt time, which is when you just keep going back to 38 seconds. So let's see what happens here. 17.8 seconds, John. I'm going to check my clock says 8:56 p.m.
All right, 4th down. Hansen looking, flag thrown on the play. He goes into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Colm Gary, but we'll see what the flag is, and it's going to be a hold against North Quincy, and OA will decline.
Jeez, that's a shame. Would have been interesting to see if Coach DeWitt could make time stand still going in the other direction there, you know.
Penalty is declined. It is Oliver Ames' ball. At the 24-yard line. 1st and 10.
All right, so the ball is turned over to Oliver Ames on down. And let's see what they do. I don't know, back here, do you take a knee or do you try to make something happen, John?
Well, it looks like they're going to try to make something happen. And see if they give the ball to Cabral, and they do. And he's going to try to make something happen. He gets up to the 40-yard line, and stays in bounds, and finally gets pushed out of bounds.
Cabral on the carry.
And see if they stop the clock or not. I don't know what to say.
Oh, this is beautiful. Clock stops with 1/10 of a second. Well, actually, now they're running it off. I don't know how they quite did that, but
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
that was beautiful.
So the clock is showing 000, but
Well, when it stopped earlier, it was 1/10 of a second, but Red Raiders are going to head to the locker room. And the longest 43 seconds in sports is about to come to an end, folks, as we head to halftime at Veterans Stadium.
all right, so at the half, Jim, we are scoreless between North Quincy and Oliver Ames. We'll take a timeout and come back with second half coverage in just one moment. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. The Tigers and the Red Raiders are scoreless. And a game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'm Jonathan Callery, being joined by Jim Timmons. And Jim, as I mentioned, we are scoreless. Both teams had some opportunities, but they just could not put the ball into the end zone in the first half.
Yeah, but I'm really crediting North Quincy for a terrific first half, John. They've got injuries. There's been, much discussion during our first half coverage of the size difference, and it's a senior laden line there for Oliver Ames, but the Red Raiders have really battled. Like, you look right there at the captains and you see the size differential. Mike Levine, number 54, is the biggest kid out there for North in terms of bulk, and Mike's really been gimpy tonight. It's been tough seeing him off the field, and there's seldom a game when you're not talking about Mike Levine, and tonight we've been quiet about him because of the fact that he's been nursing a leg injury. Noel DeBona talked about the fact that this time of year, athletes are trying to focus on either staying healthy or getting healthy, and that's a factor they balance. And obviously Mike Levine's in that battle. You see him struggling coming off the field. Number 13 to number 17 for North, Andrew Gott and Josh Jackson, two seniors who are really stepping up this year. They've had great leadership on and off the field, and their roles in tonight's game have been very significant, John. So looking forward to an exciting second half.
We also mentioned at the beginning of the game, back in the first half, that Liam Hines, Matt Craig, and Shane O'Connell are also out with injury here tonight for North Quincy as well. So some key people out with injury, and then, as you said, Jim, Mike Levine, who has been playing but has not been his completely healthy self, and you can see when he's out in the field trying to get around the best he can. Give him credit for going out there, but not a healthy squad here for North Quincy as they are taking on this Oliver Ames Tiger squad.
Yeah, and early on this season, whenever we talked about the North running game, it was Liam Hines and O'Connell. Those are the two names we'd be talking. And as you just said, both out. And so what does North do? Well, Tyler Lee steps up, a junior. Hadn't talked about him much yet this year, but I'll tell you what, he's had a terrific game tonight, John. Terrific first half, I should say. It feels like it was a game because of the final 43 seconds, but let's see what happens here in this second half.
All right, Adam Can kicks it away to North Quincy, and Malik Francis is going to field at his own 20-yard line, and he'll run back, and North Quincy's going to start at their own 30, and a late flag comes in as well.
Tell you what, I did not like what I saw of Malik carrying that football at first. What happened was he caught the ball, got a head of steam up, and Oliver Ames closed. They get down the field very well on that kickoff. That special teams group got right down the field there to cover it. Well, looks like we're going to have a personal foul here. It's an unfortunate way to start the half. But Malik Francis had just got a head of steam up, was carrying the ball a little loosely. Huge penalty. Just a very unfortunate way to start the half. Instead of being at the 30, they're going to be back inside their 15. So not what we wanted to see coming out of the locker room, John.
All right, so like you said, Jim, it will go back to the 15-yard line on the personal foul penalty. So North Quincy will go all the way back there to start the third quarter. First and 10 for the Raiders, again at their own 15-yard line. Quarterback Cooper Hanson, the sophomore, in the shotgun for North Quincy. And he's going to hand it off to the right to Tyler Lee. And Lee with a nice run on first down will get up to about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Lee there. We talked a little bit about his running coming out of the half. And at the start of the game, and talked about the fact he was not really running north and south. He wasn't hitting the holes. Well, finishing the first half and starting the second half here, nice explosion into the hole. Good job by Lee. Picks up 4 solid yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Send the man in motion, but they're going to give it to Lee. And nice job there by Lee to find the hole. Explodes forward. He crosses the 25, and they'll mark him down to 27, and it'll be a first down for North Quincy.
Great job by Lee. Great job by the North offense, John. They're compensating for that setback there with the penalty. And they move the sticks for first down. They're back out just past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So well done so far. And recall, the first half ended with Cooper Hansen firing strikes. So we'll look forward to seeing him get back to the air here.
And he's going to give it to Hansen over to the left side. Hansen gets some push from behind to move him forward across the 30, and they'll mark him down to 31.
Number 5, Tyler Lee on the carry.
Well, Tyler Lee, very impressive coming out of the locker room. And I like North Quincy's strategy, John. They're starting with the ball, and what they're looking to do is a little ground game. The fatigue factor at the end of the first half definitely starting to show. So North coaching staff looking to keep the defense off the field for a while, keep this ground game, grinding it up, running some clock off. Nice decision by the coaches, and the offense is executing.
Lead to the right this time, and he'll get up to about the 33 before he is brought down, so a gain of 2 for Tyler Lee.
Yeah, Tyler's showing a lot more confidence, both in his line and in himself, just heading straight ahead. A little concern here watching number 78, Sammy Akazine, coming out of there. He's the left guard, and it looks like he got a little stinger there on that play. He's like rolling his head in his shoulder area. I hope Sammy's okay.
3rd and 4 now for the Raiders at their own 33-yard line. Lead to the left. And he's going to be right at the first down marker. We'll see where they put his forward progress. He might be just shy, Jim, of the first down. But again, we'll see where they mark the ball.
Well, I like what I see here of Lee. It's just all straight ahead, explosive running. Very well done by Lee. And he got the first down. Terrific stuff. So Red Raiders keep the clock moving, keep the ball moving. What's happening here? The officials are calling a timeout.
So
Officials timeout for a measurement.
I think they're going to measure now.
Oh, didn't they signal?
It looked like they initially had signaled, but now they're going to bring out the sticks to have a measurement. Looks like they're just going to have the first down, and they do. Right about the nose of the football, they get the first down.
First down.
Well, now that he got the clock treatment in the first half, Coach DeWitt's welcome back to Quincy tour continues with a 2-link first down. So good job by the Red Raiders. Clock starts up again.
1st and 10 from their own 37. Lead to the right this time, trying to get outside, and hits the hole and will get brought down at the 42.
Number 5, Tyler Lee on the carry across the 40-yard line.
Really solid run there. That's a nice 5-yard gain, John. And
ball at the 42-yard line of North Quincy.
this is just what the coaching staff would be hoping for here. You can tell this has been all run so far coming out of the locker room. North Quincy delivering a couple of big first downs. Nice 5-yard pickup on a first down play here. And so great drive coming out of the locker room.
Under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 5 from the 42. Lee gets the ball to the left this time, crosses the 45-yard line, and again will be right at the first down marker. Needed to get to the 47, and it looks like he should have it, but we'll see where they mark the ball. And they do. First down, North Quincy.
Well,
To the 47-yard line.
there you see some of the big bodies. 78, 79, 67, 77 for the Red Raiders. That's Sammy Akazine and Harry Gaudiano. Number 54 in the middle, a guy we've talked about all season. Well, I beg your pardon, he's out at the right guard spot, number 54, Mike Levine. So they're the guys that North Quincy is running behind here.
Hanson bobbled the snap, but hands it off quickly to Lee, and it might have just thrown the timing off enough. And it looks like it may be a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, you're correct, John, because when Lee got the ball, he was focusing on getting a late handoff and did not identify a gap quickly enough. So if you watch this replay, you're going to see that the handoff is problematic. And that little run play caved right in. But clock continues to run, which is big from the Red Raider perspective. And they're out near the 50-yard line. After you recall, they started at their 15 following a personal foul there. So Red Raiders look like they might be in a pass formation. No, it's a pitch.
So over to Lee to the right-hand side, and he'll get across midfield up to the OA 47 where he's pushed out of bounds.
Number 5, Tyler Lee on the carry.
Yeah, that's too bad in a way. It looked like his forward progress was stopped while he was inbounds. I thought the clock might keep running, but pickup of about 4 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down, and this will be North's first big test
3rd and 4 for the
on
Raiders.
this drive. It's going to be 3rd, and we'll call it a long 4, John. Hanson has not thrown the ball this second half, despite the success at the end of the first half.
And I believe we're going to have a false start on North Quincy.
Penalty marker on the play.
Well,
False start. Against the
And that
Raiders.
is what the call is. So march it back now to the North Quincy
That'll bring
48.
up 3rd and 9 for the Raiders.
tell you, this is where maybe when Cooper's a senior, he'd get that snap off because that flag came in so late. The Oliver Ames kids were the ones who called that penalty. And let's see what they do here. It's 3rd and 9, I'm going to say, John.
Hanson looking to pass and fires over the middle. Is complete.
beautiful.
Nice pass there to Declan Gary, and he'll have the first down all the way up to the OA 35.
Number 81, Declan Geary.
Watch this replay, and you're going to see Hanson step back. He's very calm in the pocket. He's letting his receiver get downfield. He was actually looking off to the left, which was a nicely. What he's doing is he's looking the linebackers away from that area, knowing that Gary's going to break in behind the linebackers, and he did. So Declan Gary, a favored target here of the quarterback. Big gain there.
Handoff goes to Jackson over to the left side. Jackson comes back up the middle. Nice job there by Josh Jackson. Gets across the 25-yard line up to the 22. Another first down for the Raiders.
Wow. Great stuff.
22.
Great stuff by Josh Jackson. That's the first time he's touched the ball. Watch this replay and watch the determination of number 17. He hits that hole quickly, spins away from one tackle, carries another tackle 3 yards. Great job by Jackson. He's got the sideline all fired up, John.
1st and 10 at the 22. Jackson again with the carry up the middle, staying on his feet inside the 20, and will finally get brought down about the 18-yard line.
Wow, that was terrific stuff. There's some terrific blocking by the Red Raider line, John. It's very, very impressive what's going on,
Ball carried by number
particularly
17, Josh Jackson.
over on that left side. They've been running a
18-yard
lot
line.
on the left side behind Akuzine and Gaudiano, and it's been really terrific stuff there.
4-yard gain by Jackson. 2nd and 6 now for North Quincy. 4:45 left to go in the third quarter. Jackson again was looking to the right and was trying to go up the middle, and it'll get brought down quickly. Sam Stevens, number 3, nice tackle there for OA.
To the 16.
They'll give him a gain of 2 for Jackson, so they'll bring up now a 3rd and 4 for the Raiders.
That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Raiders.
4 minutes to go now in the quarter. Tyler Lee back in the ball game for North Quincy. He'll get the carry up the middle, and he's trying to push the pile forward. He gets up to the 13, maybe the 12, and I think they're going to say he's at the 13. He's going to be just about a yard shy of the first down.
Tyler Lee, number 5 on the carry.
John, we'll talk briefly about number 67, Brandon Baker, a sophomore. He's 6'1", 235, so he's a big kid. And you miss the fact that he's only a sophomore. I've watched him in the huddle tonight, talking to the other players. They talk about the center being the quarterback of the line, and he's been very vocal. He's done a terrific job. There's been a lot of running inside the tackles here, and Baker's been a key to that.
4th and 1 for North Quincy.
Big 4th down play.
Lee gets the carry. He has the first down. He gets inside the 10, falls forward up to the 9-yard line. Nice run there by Tyler Lee to move the chains and get a 1st and goal for North Quincy.
Number 5, Tyler
Well, I'll
Lee
tell you
on the
what,
carry.
John, this is a very confident offense. Watch this replay. No hesitation by Lee whatsoever. He just explodes straight ahead. There's a hole there. There's some great blocking by the down linemen, and the Red Raiders knocking on the door here. Terrific stuff, John.
They've marked the ball at the 9-yard line. So again, 1st and goal for North Quincy. Pitch over to the left side to Lee. Trying to get around the corner. He does, and as he turns the corner, he gets hit, and he gets pushed out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark him out, and I think it's going to be up at the 7-yard line.
Number 5, Tyler Lee
Now,
on the carry.
interestingly, the side judge on the far
About
side
at the 6-yard line.
has got the
Second and
clock
goal,
still
from the
running.
6.
Forward progress. He thought when forward progress stopped, the player was still in the field, kept the clock running. The near sideline official has treated it a bit differently, but happy to see that here because now the clock's about to tick down under 2 minutes, and North Quincy has had the ball the entire third quarter, John.
They mark him down at the 6. Lee on the carry over to the right side. He gets
Whoa.
hit from behind by number 3. Nice job there again by Sam Stevens. He was able to tie up the feet of Tyler Lee, and it'll be a loss of 1 back to the 7.
Yeah, and Lee really got popped by Dante Cachavera,
At the 7-yard line.
who
Third and goal to
hit
go
Lee
from the
high. That can be a tough hit. And but he popped right up. Tyler Lee having a heck of a game for himself. So North facing another big challenge here. It's 3rd and 7. They do have a very capable field goal kicker, however.
Play action fake. Cooper rolling in the end zone. Man, wide open. Touchdown, North Quincy. Jamal Maximilian with a touchdown.
Wow, what a terrific play. Just very well designed, very well executed. Love to see what's happened here with the Red Raiders tonight. Well, wasn't that impressive? That's one way to celebrate, getting knocked on your backside. Jamal Maximilian with a wide open reception in the end zone. He ran a terrific pattern, exactly as the play was designed. And Cooper Hansen showing great leadership tonight. He's really evolved. He and Lee have both been playing far more confidently here, John, in this as the game has progressed.
All right, and the kick is no good. Looked like it went wide to the right on the attempt by Thomas Murray. And real quick, we'll take a look at the replay of the touchdown catch from Cooper Hansen to Jamal Maximilian. You can see the play action fake there. Everyone going to the left except for Maximilian, who's wide open in the end zone, Jim, for the touchdown.
Yeah, and you can tell when something like that happens, when an athlete's open like that, that's the play design and the execution by the athlete of the play design. Maximilian did an excellent job on that pattern. And North Quincy comes out of the locker room, John, with a very impressive 11-minute possession, punching it in for a touchdown. So I don't know that they could have hoped for anything better than what they did there on this opening drive of the second half. Absolutely terrific stuff.
I have to give credit there to North Quincy. They set up Olive Ames on that as well. Ran left, faked the left, and then roll out to the right for the open touchdown in the flat. So a nice job there by North's
Number 6,
offensive
Nate Caldwell will kick
offensive
off
staff
for
to
the
set that
Raiders.
whole play up there in that scheme. All right, getting ready to kick it away will be number 6 for North Quincy, Nate Caldwell. And it's a high kick, short kick by Caldwell, and a fair catch is called for at the 30 by Oliver Ames. Braden Kelly
That kick is taken by
will
number
field it
1,
at the
and
30, and that's where
Kelly
Oway
for
will
the
start.
Tigers.
Very, very alert play by Braden Kelly. He's a junior,
Ball will be placed
and
at the 30-yard line.
the high short kick is in vogue in high school circles as an opportunity to make something happen. Well, what the boys are taught, at least during the week, is to make that fair catch call. It makes it a little safer. And that was very well executed by Kelly. Good job, very alert the way he reacted. A little surprising to see a young man from Easton so alert and reacting like as he did there, John. John Caleri, an Easton resident.
All right, pass over to the right side by number 12, Cam Perone, and it is incomplete. Falls short of his receiver, Adam Can.
Yeah, Colm Geary getting a little elevation there to obstruct the passing lane.
2nd and 10, Tigers.
Tell you what, this defense that had a terrific first half, they're all fired up. Well, they're well rested too. This group, some of them were out there on the field offensively, but this group is all fired up and anxious to get at this Oliver Ames offense again.
2nd down and 10. Handoff goes to Nathan Cabral over to the right side,
Number 44,
and
Nathan
Cabral
Cabral
crosses
on
the
the carry.
35 up to the 36.
Yeah, Cabral's the guy you'd expect to be the response, although he's getting up and limping. I don't know if he's
To the 37-yard line.
trying to look at his
3rd and 4.
what he's checking. Does he get up? He's got some issue with his right leg. I hope it's not the knee area. But in any event, you would expect Cabral to be the response here of Oliver Ames, and we'll be watching him on 3rd down.
All right, this could be the last play of the quarter, and as I say that, flags fly, and it's going to be a penalty against Oliver Ames, a false start.
False start against the Tigers. 5-yard penalty.
Jim, on that play, it looked like Cabral was
Put the ball in the
running a little bit more
32-yard line.
gingerly than he had. Now, granted, the
3rd
whistle
and
did
9
blow, but
for the Tigers.
so we'll have to keep an
No,
eye
he's
on
having
him.
a problem. He's bending over in the huddle as well. He's definitely distressed there. So you can see him on the right of the screen, number 44. And I suspect that the reason they're letting this clock run out
And that will
is they're
bring
going to
the
check the athlete. And I don't know if it's his hamstring or his knee, but looks like he's going to the sidelines, and he may be sitting down over there to get checked.
Alex, I'm going to guess, Jim, just by the way they're trying to stretch him out, might be his right hamstring
Yeah.
as he went over there. Well, that is the end of the 3rd quarter, and North Quincy leads the game 6-0 over Oliver Ames. Real quick, we'll remind all of our viewers you can log on to Quincy Access TV's website at qatv.org for program schedules, membership information, and much more. And of course, you can find out when all high school football will be replayed on QATV Channel 8. So again, log on to our website, www.qatv.org. Of course, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving football coming up in a couple of weeks between the Red Raiders and the Presidents. 10 a.m. kickoff here at the stadium, and QATV will have coverage as well, so we hope you tune in for that and all the replays of the games as well.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's going to be more interesting this year than we may have initially thought. I recall after the first games of the two teams, we were a little skeptical about how things were looking for the seasons. But coaching staffs and athletes have done a terrific job in both teams, and there's been some real development. It's been terrific to see. And, tonight you said, John, it's a 6-0 game. Normally those are kind of sleepy type affairs, or not well played or whatever. This has been a good little football game so far with two determined teams really going at each other. And this is a big third down play for Oliver Ames.
And a quick pass there by OA. They handed it off to the running back, and it is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Andrew Gott would have nothing of that fake. He stayed with his man beautifully. What they did, Oliver Ames had a guy crossing behind the linebackers, Nick Marks, and the hope was that the linebackers were going to bite on the fake, and they didn't. So terrific coverage by North Quincy there, and particular credit to Gott.
All right, nice kick there by Adam Can, and Malik Francis is going to field it at his own 35-yard line over to the right side, and was trying to get out of the tackler's grip, but he is knocked out of bounds at the 42.
Tell you what, I really like Malik Francis. He goes at it. He's only a sophomore. That time, the kick was a little short and to his right. Those are often the ones that become problematic because the athletes don't get over there to cover him. Well, not Malik Francis. He got right over there. He made the reception on the punt and then took it back up the right sideline for a nice little gain. And Red Raiders are going to start with terrific field position here, John. They're going to be at the 43-yard line with 11:47 to go. Let's see what they can take off this clock in the fourth quarter.
All right, Cooper Hansen, sophomore quarterback for the Raiders in the shotgun. And he's going to give it off to Tyler Lee over to the left, crosses the 45, and will get brought down at about the 47.
So they start out this drive the way they started the half. Tyler Lee right up inside the guards, and he picks up a solid 4 yards. And one of the keys here now is on the lower right of your screen, the clock ticking away here, down to 11 minutes in the ball game with the Red Raider offense on the field. This is just really great stuff from the North Quincy perspective, John.
Second down and 6.
Ooh.
And big hit there as Lee was trying to make something happen. He got hit immediately in the backfield, and it looks like it was Cabral, actually, Jim, that came up and made the hit. Also coming up there was Max Tower for the Tigers as well.
Whoever the trainer was who massaged the right hamstring of Cabral, guy should be working with Tom Brady at the TB12 facility there, because that's a marvelous resurrection. He was on his stomach getting his hamstring addressed, and there he just made a very solid stick to stop Tyler Lee, an explosive back, right at the line of scrimmage. Bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Hansen looking over to the left side, looking down the sideline, and is incomplete. Was looking for Andrew Gott, and Gott was just a little short in getting to that route. Looked like he was trying to find the ball in the lights, Jim, and he got turned around. And as he got turned around, he just couldn't get an extra step there down there.
Yeah, it was a nicely thrown ball. What Hansen did was he put it up there for Gott to go get, and Gott could not get it. So, as you said, he came up just about a yard short. It was a little bit of a timing play, and well executed for two high school kids. Just missed the connection.
All right, Gary will kick it away for North Quincy. And OA's going to field it. Probably not that best of an idea for Oliver Ames. Luckily, they were able to hold on to it. That was Sam Stevens. And it's going to go all the way back now to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, that punt was kind of at the end of its bouncing life. Not the best decision by Stevens, but that's easy for us to say up here. He had a shot at a clean hop, and he took it. But as you say, John, may not have been the best decision because right behind the football was a sea of red shirts, and he's fortunate there was not a turnover there.
All right, 10:03 left to go in the ball game. North Quincy on top, 6-0. And it's 1st and 10 now for Oliver Ames at their own 23-yard line. Quarterback Cam Perrone under center, hands it off up the middle. And nice run there on 1st down for OA. Going to get up to about the 30-yard line. And looks like it was Colin Williamson on the run.
Now, that'll be a 7-yard gain, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be an important possession for both teams here. North defense really wants to come up with a stop. And Oliver Ames really needs to get something going here because, pardon me, the clock is running, and with the North running game and the reliance Oliver Ames has had on its running game for success, that clock's going to run down pretty quickly here.
Cabral gets the carry, trying to bust it outside. A nice
great
tackle there
tackle.
by North Quincy.
That's Josh Jackson who cut him down. Terrific tackle by Jackson, number 17. You see him there. That was a huge tackle because Cabral was just about to explode out there to some open green space. So big 3rd down here, John. 3rd and 2 for Oliver Ames.
Only a gain of 1 for Cabral on that last carry. So as you said, 3rd and 2 from the 31 for OA.
Oh!
And it looks like it was Mike Levine coming up there for North Quincy to come in and make the tackle. And there he is, getting up off the bottom of the pile. Mike Levine come in to make the tackle on Cabral.
Yeah, and watch this replay because there's the early contact by Mr. Levine. And I'll tell you what, I said earlier that it has not been often, if at all, this year that we are not talking about Levine. Due to the injury tonight, we hadn't mentioned him much. And sure enough, on the biggest play so far in this game, who is it who steps up but Mike Levine? Great job.
All right, Francis back deep for North Quincy. Is going to let this roll, and it does take a Tigers roll all the way up to the North Quincy 25-yard line where it finally comes to a stop.
Well, very, very impressed by Francis on that particular punt. This is a small thing, but as soon as Francis identified that he was not going to be able to catch that ball, he just started running downfield away from it. He didn't want to have any of those crazy fumble hops, send the ball his way. He's been coached to do that. He executed that coaching. Great decision by Malik Francis. I complimented him earlier on his determination to go get the ball and run it back. Well, there, he was really smart about how he played that punt.
7:57 left to go in the game. North takes over 1st and 10. Tyler Lee, on the carry, is able to spin away from the tackler and fall forward, and they'll mark him down. See, they mark him down at the 26, just a gain of 1.
2nd and 8 for the Raiders.
And actually, going to say he's down at the 27 for a gain of 2.
It's interesting. Oliver Ames, they're right in front of the coaching staff, and you can see a couple of the North coaches checking where the linebackers are and how they're set. And it's to Geary, right?
Yep, quick handoff to Colm Geary. He was in motion. They gave it to him. And he's going to get across the 30 up to about the 32, maybe the 33.
Nicely designed play. The Red Raiders trying to take advantage of the fact that Oliver Ames is anticipating a running game by North, trying to get that clock down. And they've got their linebackers right up, plugging gaps here behind their 3 defensive line set. And North's trying to take advantage of that with that type of play to Geary, but then some fine passing by Cooper Hansen thus far, who's shown that he can pass on the run or in the pocket.
3rd and 2 for the Raiders. Hansen back to pass. Plenty of time looking downfield, and it's incomplete. Miscommunication there between Hansen and Declan Gary.
Declan Gary incomplete.
Gary ran a post, and a flag was thrown for the route instead. So it's going to bring up a 4th down now for North Quincy, and they'll be forced to kick it away.
to punt, number 6, Nate Caldwell for the Raiders.
Be nice to get a good punt off here. And he does. Well done.
And another fair catch is called for by OA. And they're going to mark the
Punt is
ball
fielded by
back
number
at the
3, Sam
35.
Stevens for the Tigers. They'll go back on offense at their own 35
Well, when the stat sheet shows that this was a relatively penalty-free game, I have to say that's not been a reflection on the players in clean execution. I don't know if someone put some crazy glue on these yellow flags, but there have been few and far between. And I recall one on the pass interference call, John, that was almost begrudging. So there has not been much in the way of penalties, but, and I mention that because I saw something on that play there that might have drawn a flag.
Perone looking downfield and did not get a clean throw off. Actually got hit as he threw the ball, and that's why it wasn't a good throw downfield, and it falls incomplete. Was looking down the field for number 13, Adam Cant.
Well, Easton resident John Caleri was just very, very kind to the fellow Easton resident quarterback for Oliver Ames. If you watch this replay,
2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
quarterback's going to step back completely unmolested, no one anywhere near him. And the wounded duck went out.
That it did. I saw him get up off the ground after he threw the ball, so I thought he got hit as he threw it, as he looked back down the other side.
No, you treated this very appropriately. That's how we should be commenting on high school football, frankly.
All right, Cabral on the carry. A nice tackle there by Tyler Lee. Cabral was trying to get outside and string it out, but right there was Lee to bring him down, and Cabral's going to get brought down at the 37.
I'll tell you what, a combination of Cabral's balky legs here, as he's had a long and, thus far successful night, and Tyler Lee, who has just got better and better and better as the night has gone on, John. He just came all the way across the field from the right side, made a terrific tackle, and very, very impressed by number 5 tonight. He's got to be happy with his performance tonight. There you see him on the right of your screen, roaming around, very anxious to get another shot here on 3rd and 8. This is another big third down play, John.
Perone looking to pass down the right sideline, has a man. Can is open and it's complete, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a shame. On that particular play, if you watch this replay, you're going to see Malik Francis kind of get turned around. Watch on the right of your screen. You're going to see him turn thinking that he can get to the ball, but he ends up doing just about a 180, and that's a huge gain for Oliver Ames. So with 5 minutes, 5:06 to go here, Oliver Ames, for the first time, deep in Red Raider territory, the 25.
1st and 10. Hand off to Williamson over to the left side, and big tackle there by North Quincy. Josh Jackson comes up with a great tackle, and it's going to be no gain on the play.
You're absolutely right, John. Big league tackle by Jackson to get the runner in the backfield. Well, they're giving him a yard there, but terrific job by Jackson. Super penetration. Cut the running back down on his own before he could get outside. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. And importantly, you see the clock there running. We're coming down to 4 minutes to go in this ball game.
2nd down and 9 from the 25 for the Tigers. Send a man in motion, but they give it to Williamson over to the right side. Flag thrown on the play. Williamson will get up to about the 15-yard line, make it the 16, but we'll see what the penalty is. It's going to be a hold against the Tigers.
On the carry.
Wow, big penalty.
Flag on the
Big
play.
penalty here. John had mentioned the game, the first game tonight, Quincy High School. A late score by the opponent, visiting Braintree, determined the outcome, a present loss. Well, North
Holding
Quincy looking to
Against the Tigers.
turn the fortunes here. If you watch this replay,
10-yard penalty.
I
That'll
don't
put
know
ball
where the
back on
hold is,
36-yard
but
line of North Quincy.
You're going to see a nice hole there. And
Second and 21.
the runner was down to about the 17-yard line, but now instead they're going to be at about the 36. Huge 20-yard shift here, John.
Perone looking to pass. Going down the left sideline, and it is caught, but he's going to be out of bounds. Nice catch there by the player, but he was just out of bounds when he caught it. And that was Can again, who the pass was intended for.
Yeah, and the tackler landed on his leg, so he's getting up a little balky here. Adam Can. If you watch this replay, as John said, you're going to see the ball gets delivered nicely, but Can is out of bounds. It's thrown to his outside shoulder, but his outside shoulder was precisely that. It was way outside. You know, it's interesting. You can see the stick on the right of the screen there. You see the white sweatshirt on the top right of your screen. That's where Oliver Ames has to go to get a first down. That's at the 16-yard line. So that's how much ground they have to cover. 3rd and 20. Red Raiders call a timeout, and smartly so here. They want to reset. They got to look at what Oliver Ames is thinking of doing here. And this is a huge 3rd down play, John.
So it'll be 3rd and 20 for the Tigers at the North Quincy 36-yard line. And really, that holding penalty was a huge setback there for Oliver Ames. As you said, Jim, the ball went up to about the 17-yard line. I would have brought up a 3rd and 1, but with the holding penalty, it went back to a 2nd and 20, and now it's a 3rd and 20 as we have a 3 minutes and 54 seconds left to go here in the game. And again, North Quincy on top of Oliver Ames by a score of 6-0.
Well, during the timeout, John, maybe we'll mention the fact that one of the things that I know the scouting report for the Red Raiders talked about was big number 48 for Oliver Ames, Anthony Calisi. He's out from today's game, and we're happy about that because we had heard that even though Anthony's only a sophomore, he's an explosive running back, and he's the type of guy that Oliver Ames could be calling upon in this situation. So we're very happy to know he's on the sideline. He's actually up in the booth next to us here, a very fine young gentleman, but we're pleased he's not down, able to help out the offense here.
All right, long throw down the middle of the field is complete at the 5-yard line to number 3, Sam Stevens.
Complete. Number 3, Sam Stevens.
We have a replay. I'm not sure if we want to see it, but what a terrific play. That was a frozen rope to a receiver. Let's watch the replay here, and you're going to see a beautifully thrown ball. He just steps right into it and throws a bullet to an open receiver who's inside the 5. And I'll tell you what, we are in for an exciting ending here in this ball game. Clock ticking down. 3:20 to go. 1st and goal from the 5 for Oliver Ames.
Oweh sends a man in motion. They give to Williamson, and he goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Number 25.
Colin Williamson runs it in, and we are tied at 6.
3:17 remaining in the ball game.
Wow. Well, that is dispiriting. We're going to have to see how the Red Raiders react to it. Here we go with a point after attempt. It's going to be interesting.
All right, high snap, you're able to get it down. The kick is up, and it is good.
Wow. So, just like that, this ball game has turned around, and Oliver Ames on the far sideline, a lot of energy, and they have taken the lead here. Very interesting, John. What a turn of events. That was one big pass play, and pardon me, this game has just been turned around. So we're going to see how North Quincy reacts. This is adversity, and they're on their home field, playing pretty well tonight. Let's see if they can't make something happen.
All right, 3:17 left to go. OA on top, 7-6 now. North Quincy does have 2 timeouts in their pocket and plenty of time to get the ball down the field. So we'll see if they can march down the field and put some points on the board to take the lead back.
For the Tigers. Deep to receive, number 12, Jamal Maximilian, number 7.
Adam Can, who just kicked the extra point, will kick it away as well. Maximilian back, and that's actually Francis who's going to take it at his own 20-yard line and over to the right side, and his forward progress is going to be stopped at about the 28.
Well, you'll recall at the end of the first half that sophomore quarterback Cooper Hansen
First and 10 Raiders.
was throwing the ball all over the place with great success, John. And this second half, North's been predominantly running the ball. Let's see if Cooper can't resume his throwing ways here. North's going to have to do this. They've got to go 62 yards. No, let's do that math again. 72 yards here. And they've got 3 and 10 seconds, 3 minutes.
All right, Hansen passes complete to
Pass
Brendan
is
Hines
complete.
over to the right side, and Hines, we'll see if they say he was out of bounds or
Number
not.
7, Malik Francis.
Now, the far side official is a forward progress guy,
That's
so
number 5,
he's going to be
Tyler Lee.
windmilling his arm trying to get home
It's a
tonight, as you
pickup of
pointed
6.
out.
Second and 4 for the
He's a
Raiders.
guy who realizes that they did the earlier game, so they've been out there 6 hours tonight. That's a long night. A lot of work here.
Ball at the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 4 now for the Raiders. Hansen again looking to pass, gets a nice block in front of him, and it's complete to number 81,
Pass
Declan
is
Gary,
complete.
up to the
Number
48-yard line.
81, Declan Gary.
Clock stops
To
while
the
they move the
48-yard
sticks,
line.
and let's see what
They're
happens.
gonna put
North
number
is
49.
still
Result
trying to
of
get
that play
plays
is the
in.
Red
That
Raiders.
last
First down.
play took about 50 seconds off the clock. They're going to have to execute a little more quickly here. The clock's running, and we're down at 2:10 here.
They
Let's get
spotted
off.
at the 49-yard, actually. Pass over to the near sideline, and it is incomplete. Jamal Maximilian could not reel it in.
Pass intended for number 12, Jamal Maximilian, incomplete.
You know, unfortunately, they've only executed 2 plays in about a minute 20 here.
Second and 10
So
Raiders.
they have to develop a little more sensitivity and awareness to the clock. And there's 2 minutes left. As we mentioned earlier, Hansen can throw the ball. He identifies open receivers well. He can deliver it. So they've had success moving the ball here, but they're going to have to be a little quicker.
2:01 left to go. Hansen rolling out to his right, fires, and it's complete. And Colm Gary on the reception, and he goes out of bounds at the OA 46.
Across the 45
That's going to
yard
bring
line.
up a 3rd down and about 4, John. No, with the spot, it's going to be 3rd and 5.
On the 46
So
yard line of All-Lorraine.
All right, so it's 3rd and 5 now for North
For the
Quincy.
Raiders.
Ball at the 46.
how's North for timeouts, John?
I believe they have 2 timeouts remaining.
All right, very good.
1:51 left to go. And a flag is thrown. I have a false start on North Quincy.
Right, that's the call.
False start against the Raiders. 5-yard penalty. They'll bring up 3rd
So it's going
and
to push
10.
it back to North Quincy 49. All right, North at the line. 3rd and 10 now for North. Hansen pass complete to Gary up to the 45-yard line, and he's pushed out of bounds. We'll see if they give him the 44 or not. And no, at the 45 is where he's pushed out.
Steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
All right,
That will
so
bring up
Geary
fourth
was
and
alert
four
as
for
he
the Raiders.
turned and looked upfield. He saw white shirts, so he got right out of bounds. The play was designed to get him out into the flat along the sideline, see if he couldn't get some yards after the catch, but that didn't happen. He stopped the clock immediately, and here's the ball game here.
4th and 4. Pass Hansen downfield looking for complete to Hines down at the 15-yard line, and it's complete. Great catch there by Brendan Hines.
Wow. Watch this replay, folks. North Quincy coming right back at it.
Number 9, Brendan Hines for a Red Raider first down.
Terrific job.
Ball is at the
Buying
13-yard
time.
line of Oliver Ames.
And there's Brendan Hines pulling it in along the sidelines. Who needs Liam when you have number 9, huh? Nicely done.
All right, 1st and 10. Handoff over to the left side, and it's Tyler Lee, and he'll get to the 12.
Tyler Lee,
All right,
number 5
1:30
on the
left,
carry.
and let's see what North Quincy does. They're letting the clock
Couple.
run down.
1.
So,
2nd and 9 for the Raiders.
Again, North Quincy still has 2 timeouts remaining, 1:20 left to go in the game. Ball at the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Hansen in the shotgun, looking to pass. Over to his right side, and it's complete to Gary. And he initially was inside the 10. He broke the tackle, and it's going to be a loss of 1, actually.
yeah, we got to get a timeout here, and
Number 88, Declan Gary on the reception. Timeout, Raiders.
clock management is going to become critical here, John. With 53 seconds left, we're looking at a 3rd and 9. So that's one issue. But now they've only got 1 timeout left. And the way things have been going, the team has executed. It's taken 20 to 25 seconds to execute a play. So with the amount of time left, they have basically 2 plays left, which means they have to get into the end zone here. They're just outside the 10 at about the 13. So we'll have to see. That's kind of what we're looking at here. Ball's on the 13-yard line. 2, maybe 3 plays left. Because of the clock situation, you're probably looking at going to the air for the most part, which affects options and affects how the defense is going to play you. Makes it a little harder sometimes when you pretty clearly have only one option, and here would be sideline passing. So that's how Oliver Ames is going to cover things. You see they have 7 guys back.
Hansen looking, still has some time, fires over the middle of the field,
Oh!
touchdown, North Quincy! Wide open in the middle of the field was Brendan Hines.
There's a flag on the play.
Oh, a flag on the play, though. We'll see what happens.
Oh, the flag is in the backfield here. Oh,
And they're
it's
gonna say
going
it's-
against Oliver Ames.
It's roughing the passer against Oliver Ames. They'll decline that, so touchdown.
Roughing the passer.
All right. I wonder if we have a replay here. It'd be terrific to see.
Tigers.
Cooper Hansen. All right, watch Hansen in the backfield on this replay. He's looking to his left where he had
It is
2
a touchdown.
receivers. Nothing there. And then he identifies Hines in the back of the end zone and fires a strike. So Brendan Hines, grabbing the stage in the absence of brother Liam, comes up with a huge catch along the sideline, and then a touchdown with 46 seconds to go, John. And they're going to go for 2 here. Good call given the score and the spread.
Hansen rolling out to his right and incomplete. He had Colm Gary in the flat, but the pass was just off the fingertips of Gary. So the 2-point attempt is no good, but nonetheless, with 46 seconds left to go, North Quincy has taken the lead back from Oliver Ames. They now lead 12-7.
Oliver Ames, Tigers 7.
Well, credit to both
We have 45
clubs here
seconds
tonight,
left to go in the
John.
ball game.
North Quincy came out of the locker room after what for both teams was a very grinding first half. They both really took shots at each other. They wore each other down. They went to the locker room 0-0. North comes out of the locker room, has a terrific 11-minute grinding drive for a touchdown to take a lead that held up until the final 3 minutes. Oliver Ames goes in and scores. They kick the extra point to take the lead after trailing for such a long period of time here in this second half. And what do the Red Raiders do? But they come out and
Penalty at the end of the touchdown
just
play
really
was
show
against
terrific
Oliver Ames,
resilience and
finishing the
determination.
on the kickoff.
They get
The
down
ball
the
will be
field,
spotted
score a
at the 45-yard
touchdown.
line of Oliver
They
Ames.
did not convert on the two-point conversion,
Kicking
but
off
because
for
of
the
the
Red
personal
Raiders, number
foul, they're
6,
going to be
Nate
kicking off
Caldwell.
from the Oliver Ames 45. That's what I was talking about earlier, John, when the Red Raiders had the little eruption on their sideline there after a late hit. These personal fouls can really cost you.
All right, so North is going to boot it out of the back of the end zone. So it will be a touchback, and Oliver Ames will start at their own 20. Thought Jim maybe they might have done a little pooch kick there or a nice short kick to try to pin them back inside the 10-yard line. But they elected just to kick it deep and let OA start at the 20.
I suppose the theory is to get your defense out on the field with the way they played tonight, and there's no real difference between going 80 yards and what might happen in a pooch kick situation. So, we might run some clock, a little chaos, but this is option B, and let's see what happens. Be very interesting.
All right, 46 seconds left. I believe Oliver Ames has 2 timeouts remaining in their back pocket as well. And they're going to need, as you said, Jim, go 80 yards to try to put some points on the board. First and 10. Cam Perrone looking to pass. Goes downfield, and he's going to short hop it to his intended receiver. Incomplete.
North's got some terrific athletes in the sophomore, well, in all 3 classes out there. I shouldn't limit it to the particular classes, but we've got 2 seniors out there, Gott and Jackson. And then we've got Brendan Hines, who's a junior, Malik Francis, a sophomore, both of whom are terrific athletes. They're back defensively, and we'll catch the 2 guys over on the right side in a moment for you.
Timeout Raiders.
We've got Tyler Lee, number 5, who's a junior, and then Jamal Maximilian, also a junior. So you've got 3 juniors and a sophomore out there with 2 seniors. Those 6 guys are basically being entrusted by the coaching staff here, John, to handle the defense of the Oliver Ames receivers. And on that play, they had them blanketed.
So it'll be second down and 10 for the Tigers. 40.5 seconds left to go here in the ball game. North Quincy on top 12-7 after that exciting drive. We should mention for that drive, North Quincy held the ball for 2 minutes and 16 seconds, 9 plays, and 72 yards for the touchdown.
Well, great stuff. This team, from the start, at the beginning of the season, we saw grit and determination. They don't quit. Well, it has paid off tonight in spades. Let me tell you, look at this.
And there we go, another sack there. Mike Levine right in the middle of the action and brings him down.
Good for Mike Levine, the second big play of the night for that young man, even though he's having trouble walking. Levine with the penetration through his own determination there. He gets in on the Oliver Ames quarterback for a big sack. Ball's back inside the 13. 30 seconds left, and Oliver Ames facing a third, and it's going to be, about 17 here, John. So there you see the coaches together, talking to the kids, and What's Oliver Ames got for timeouts?
I believe they have one remaining now.
Okay. There's some of the crazed fan base for the Red Raiders. Some of them still in their Halloween outfits, it appears, or maybe not. But they're all excited and jacked up. Happy to be on TV, that's for sure. That's one of the things about the camera in the end zone, the screen in the end zone now.
3rd and 18. 30 seconds remain.
All right, so it's 3rd and long now for the Tigers. 30 seconds left to go.
Veterans Stadium now is a fan cam, John. Here we go. Big 3rd down play. Going to get it out in the flat. He's going to get out of bounds. Short of
Pass is complete.
He's short of the first down. 23 seconds left. He's at the 30-yard, short of the 30-yard line as well. So that's all fine from the Red Raider perspective. We'll see what happens here on a 4th and 4.
Out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
All right, they mark him out of bounds at the 26.
You got to get to the 30.
.23 seconds left to go. As you said, Jim, 4th and 4 now. Get to the 30 for a first down. Cam Perrone, the quarterback for the Tigers, in the shotgun. Looking to pass, being pressured. Trying to get out of harm's way from behind. He's got the first down. He gets out of bounds at the 35.
Well, nicely done there by the veteran quarterback.
15 seconds to go. The result of that run is
he got out of bounds. He stopped the clock. And Oliver Ames is going to live for a couple more plays at least.
33-yard line of Oliver Ames.
And they spot it at the 33-yard line. .15 seconds left to go.
Just going to say it again. Thank God Khaleesi's up here with us, folks. I'm happy he's not an option for Oliver Ames.
And Perrone looking to pass down the middle of the field. And actually shooting off to the left sideline. It's complete to Adam Kahn. And he goes out of bounds at the North Quincy 48.
Nicely done. And the problem with that pass is it puts Oliver Ames in striking range. So this game is just not going to die, John. The excitement continues. I said at halftime, you don't normally describe a 0-0 game as exciting. And when the Red Raiders scored, it was 6-0. Generally speaking, that's not the most exciting stuff in the world, but man, has this game had its back and forth to it.
All right, 10 seconds left to go. Pass over to the left sideline again, and it's complete at the 20-yard, excuse me, at the 30-yard line again to Kahn. He goes out of bounds.
All right, so they've just picked up 2 huge chunks here.
Tiger first down.
20-yard chunks, and they're 30 yards out with 5 seconds to go. So this is going to be really something. I don't know. Red Raiders out of timeouts?
I'm not sure, Jim. I lost track of North Quincy's timeouts there.
Yeah, I imagine they may be, but this is going to...
I think North has 1 timeout remaining.
All right, let's see. Yeah, you know what? The coach is right with the official, and you're correct.
Yep. All right, so that was, I believe Oliver Ames called that timeout. So that is OA's last timeout.
Trying to get some intelligence here for our viewers only. I can't convey it to the sideline. Anthony Khaleesi from Oliver Ames will not say a word. Trying to find out where this ball's going. Is it going to go to the right side where the 3 receivers are, or the left where Kahn is?
5 seconds left to go. Cam Perrone rolling out to his right, being chased. And he fires it downfield into the end zone and is incomplete. And
Pass is incomplete.
flag is thrown behind the play, Jim.
There's a penalty marker.
It looks like they're calling a roughing.
Yes, they're going to call a roughing the
Against
passer
North
call.
Quincy.
There's going to be another play in this ball game.
I think North was lucky, Jim, they didn't get a pass interference in the end zone as well. There might have been a slight push from behind, but nonetheless, it is a roughing the passer call.
Wow. Well, one thing I'm going to credit these officials with
Penalty.
is we thought 38
First down.
seconds could not take as long as it did with these guys, but now we got 0 seconds on the clock, and the game is going to continue. So
And they're going to march the ball all the way up to the 15-yard line,
Place the
Jim,
ball
for
on the
one
15-yard
untimed
line.
down.
wow, this is really something here. It's 12-7, so if they score, they win. There's going to be no issues with a point after touchdown or anything like that. And we did not challenge North Quincy going for 2 as they did. In other words, the fact that they didn't kick the extra point and put this at 13-7. We did not challenge that at the time. Thought it was a good call. It's still a good call. But now the situation is such that if Oliver Ames can convert on this final play of the ball game, we hope and expect, then it's going to be a most interesting ending. Here we
Perone
go.
in the shotgun, being pressured, and gets out of the way from one sec. Throws it into the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Game over, and North Quincy has won.
This time the game is over without a penalty.
Ball game is over.
So
Final
what
score,
an
North Quincy Red
ending
Raiders 12.
to quite a ball game.
Tigers 7.
Boy, was that something else. And players are lining up now, John. There's actually a lot to say, but it's pretty late here at Veterans Stadium. What an exciting ball game and a terrific ending. Very, very happy for the Red Raiders.
All right, real quick, we'll run down some quick stats here. Cooper Hansen, 16 of 28 passing for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Lee led the way on the ground for North Quincy with 68 yards. And then several players from North Quincy got in the action for receiving. Declan Gary and Colm Gary each had 4 receptions. Brendan Hines had 3, and one of those was the big touchdown. Jamal Maximilian had 2 receptions and a touchdown as well to lead North Quincy. So great job there by North Quincy. Come out here trailing down in the game, come back in the last minute and get that big touchdown there to all the way down and take the lead. And then luckily we're able to hold off the charge of the Oliver Ames Tigers as they try to go down the field. Had that one untimed down on the roughing the passer call, and it goes incomplete. And North Quincy gets their 3rd victory of the season, 12-7 over Oliver Ames.
Yeah, terrific determination and poise by the Red Raiders, and this is definitely something they can build off of. So very happy for the players, for the coaching staff, the loyal fans who enjoyed an absolutely terrific football game. A lot of back and forth. This was a great night at Veterans Stadium for the Red Raiders. So really delighted with that. And before I turn it over to you for the final sign-off, we have some folks to thank from QATV who labored long and hard today, and I'll turn that over to John. And just want to thank Anthony Calisi from Oliver Ames High School. We're happy you weren't on the field, Anthony, and delighted to be talking about you over the next 2 years. Next time Oliver Ames comes back to Veterans Stadium. So.
All right, real quick, we'll run down all those crew who were here. Scott Daniels and Ryan McWade were on camera for both games, so we want to thank Scott and Ryan. Anna El Torre, who on the first game was our director, switched over the graphics for the game number 2. Chris Potter on audio and engineer for both games as well. And Peter Doherty was slacking in here tonight, Jim, only doing the second game, so we want to thank Peter as our director here tonight for the North Quincy OA game.
I'm sure he was putting on overtime in the day job.
I'm sure he was.
Guy's a worker.
So we'll find out out what the schedule is for next week, and we'll let everyone know so we can stay tuned to QATV as to what the schedule will be. But, of course, stay tuned for Thanksgiving football just in a couple of weeks here on QATV and QATV.org for all the information about that. Well, for all the crew here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, for Jim Timmons, my name is Jonathan Clary, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of QATV Sports. We'll see you next time.